जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲು
Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो.
When you have a Lamborghini and you're stuck in Delhi traffic, you're just not reaching home, then you finally huff and puff when you get home. That's what this innings felt like. I'm lost for words, so I need to go to my expert and guess, the voice of cricket, the one who has all the words to describe everything. Please, all yours. What happened with this innings?
I'm not sure either team was sure enough to win it.
Yeah, almost felt like none of them want to win.
I mean, you can understand if the opposition takes the game away from you, but what's in your hands? Bowling a no ball in the last over? You can't bowl a no ball in the last over. The two stumpings, Liton Das Smith, international keeper. I know he's not kept that often for Bangladesh, but both were very standard misses. They drop a catch.
Kulwan dropped that catch.
Yeah. I mean, we were just chatting over there. Which team wanted to win it?
Yeah.
It was, I mean, it became close, so it was exciting. But if you're a lover of cricket, that wasn't great cricket.
No, I mean, I don't think the pitch was great, but
Yeah.
it just shows you that in professional sport, high-level sport, which we're talking about, when you've not been winning, I mean, KKR have won a couple, but the Delhi team just have forgotten how to win. You could see that in the last half an hour. They completely forgot how to win the game of cricket. And unfortunately, I had Axar Patel, who had a bit of fortune. KKR's keeper had a horror last half an hour, missed a couple of stumpings. But it's really difficult to win that first game when you've had a losing streak of 5 games. I just wonder whether Delhi now have just gone a little bit of a... Once you've won one game, and I know it's not a good win, it's an ugly win, but they've won a game. You could see Ricky Ponting lifting David Warner there. That's how much it means. They will be in that dressing room now, celebrating like they've won the IPL because they've won a game of cricket, and it might just give them that boost to go on a winning streak. You never know.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope they're not sitting there thinking, damn, we almost lost this one too. That's how bad we are. I'm sure they're not thinking that way, but you never know.
I mean, that's what I'm wondering, that would they be celebrating a win like this? Yes, it is a win and we will discuss it, but well, they just about reached there. It was like this and they reached there. It was a struggle.
Yeah, it was a huge struggle. I mean, David Warner came out of the traps and, I think, what was the power play? 61? Is that what they got on the power play? So it was all done and dusted and all of a sudden they lost a wicket, another wicket. Phil Salt came out there, got out cheaply, and we were in the green room and we were all sat there and we could feel it from here. And I don't know how many miles it is to Delhi, but we could sense that there was a panic starting to happen in the Delhi dugout. And that's what happens when you're just not used to that winning habit. Getting the winning habit is the hardest thing to get hold of. Keeping the winning habit is a hard thing to keep hold of. But when you're losing, wow, you found ways of losing from any position. And Delhi nearly did that tonight.
6 over 61, next 14 over 77. 16 overs of spin, 88 for 6. That's ridiculous.
But David Warner in the dugout, we saw him sitting pretty much holding his head all through.
Because you don't lose these matches.
What else can he do? He gave them that start which they wanted. I think it was a 57 of 41 deliveries. Yeah. And he said, all right, we can't lose it from here. But just one after the other, they just kept going.
Let's be honest, the IPL is a brutal world. Ricky Ponting's a legend of the game. He's a very, very good coach. I think if Delhi had lost that tonight, his position starts to get questioned. And David Warner, the skipper, if you lose the first 6 games, and that team on paper, the Delhi team looks pretty good. On paper, it looks okay. It doesn't look a team that you think are going to go on and win the tournament, but you certainly don't think they're a team that should lose their first 6. And that's the pressure of 2 legends of the game would have been feeling in that dugout. That's why he was lifting him up, because they go, we've got another life. We've got a bit more. We can actually walk in and shake the owner's hand tonight and say, look, we've won a game of cricket. We'll try and get better for the next game. We got over the line, as you say, crawling over the line to the victory. But it should give them a little bit of a boost. They've got a W. They've got 2 points. And it can just give you a huge spring. They'll arrive at practice. They probably won't practice tomorrow, the day after. Or it'll feel better. It'll feel better practicing knowing you've got a win.
KKR now have lost 3 on the trot. So all of a sudden, midway through the season, you're looking good, you've started well, everyone's smiling. Now we lost 3 on the trot.
We'll have a look at the bowling card there, because they used, I think, 16
16 overs of
overs
spin.
of spin. That's what they did. So there were, we can see here there was Varun Chakravarti, Anukul Roy and Nitish Rana who got all their 4 in. Sunil Narayan got his 4.
Let's look at Narayan's figures though,
Yeah.
compared to the other spinners. He went for 36.
Was that the game? I thought Varun Chakravarti was the best of those spinners. Nitish Rana will be looking at that saying, who were the batters who allowed me to bowl 4 overs, 2 for 17 with 10 dot balls? I mean, I can bowl, but I'd fancy my chances as a batter against my own bowling. And then Anukul Roy, we're having a bit of a laugh, didn't he? I mean, impacts up, came and got out first ball. He comes in and bowls 4 overs. That's the thing with every Indian team. They'll always have someone who can bowl off breaks. It's like you go across to England or Australia, they'll always have someone who'll run in and bowl seam up. You'll always have someone who'll bowl an off break. So Nitish Rana bowls 4 overs, Anukul Roy bowls
Well,
4
you say
overs.
that, apart from the Indian one-day side, you have no one that bowls off breaks in the first 5. I'm just saying, you used to have lots.
No, but you think they should have left one over for a spinner to bowl the last one, considering the way they were going, because they got the seamers on. The seamers didn't quite do anything today.
I think they had to try and win it. The only reason that they stayed in the game because they basically went top heavy. Varun Chakravarti was magnificent, and you go back to the first game this afternoon when Hasaranga was bowling and he didn't have as much energy. Chakravarti, that you could see it, he was going up in the end, he was dipping, he was spinning either way. Fantastic energy, but it's still on the Ryan really. If you put, and I'm not saying they should have defended the total, but if still on the Ryan, they'd just bowled a little bit better. I thought he bowled very flat, almost like a seamer. He didn't get it in the air, he didn't give it a chance to spin. But it was a good defence. You know, the one thing I'll say about KKR, they didn't look agile in the field. They didn't look like a real. We look at RCB in the afternoon; they were tremendous in the field, active on everything. I thought KKR looked a bit sloppy in the field.
Yeah, I mean, just towards the end, Russell overran. Visa was not backing up. That's a boundary there. Kejrolia misses a catch. Litton Das misses 2 of the easiest stumpings you'll ever get. With
So
that
they could have
total,
won. Yeah, they could have won.
They could have won that game. I'm just thinking, we're sitting there and chatting, 1 over left, who do you go to? You've got Umesh Yadav, you've got Kulwant Kejrolia, and you've got Andre Russell. You'd have gone with Russell most days. When they went to Kejrolia, I thought maybe he really bowls those cutters, hits them into the deck, gets the ball to turn. He bowled a no ball.
Yeah, it's just, well, not
No, you
acceptable
can't do
at
that.
all.
No,
But
you can't do that. But the one thing you'll say is stay behind the line. Stay behind the line. You can't bowl a no ball.
Line never moves, Harsh, does it?
Yeah, line doesn't move.
It doesn't
You
move.
move.
It does not move.
yeah, but where does Kolkata go from here? Because, you know, the No Shardul, the middle order, well, didn't really fire. The top order, again, they got a Jason Roy in. So they're trying, chopping, changing, doing everything they can do. But
They've used 2 wicket keepers and done both. Now they've picked a 3rd keeper. On the evidence of this, his confidence is very low. Can they go into another game with him as keeper? Or are they going to say, okay, too bad for you. He leaves on the 28th anyway to go and play for Bangladesh. So sorry, thank you very much, Litton Das. We'll get Gurbaz back again, or we'll get Jagadisan back again. What do they do? I don't know. There's been so much chopping and changing. What do they do with Shardul Thakur? Did they read the pitch well enough and say we didn't need a bowler like Shardul? I don't know. When you lose 3 in a row, the questions start to pile up. So I'll just be curious to know whether they just say, sorry, this was a horses for courses team. We'll go back to the team that's going to win it for us.
Yeah, I don't think the swapping and changing is going to help.
No.
You know, when you're swapping 4 players and then you go to the next game, swap another 4 players, that's not going to help. Look, tonight's performance by KKR, the batting was poor. The fielding was very, very poor. The seam bowling was poor. The only thing that they take from Delhi is their spinners. Their spinners were excellent. They really did bowl with a great bit of skill. I love seeing spinners, even in T20 cricket, and the boundaries are short in Delhi, just giving it a bit of flight.
Yeah.
Giving it a flight. There was a little bit there for them on the surface, so they could offer that bit of flight, but that's really the only thing they're getting on the plane with is that the spinners just managed to give them a chance of winning a game of cricket that really, after 6 overs of the power play, they had no chance. So that is all they're taking from that game.
I mean, I've never been a coach or player at that level, but if I'm Ricky Ponting, I'm going to go and have a word with the curator, the groundsman. I've got 5 more games at this ground. Are these the tracks you're going to give me? Because I don't think these tracks are suited to the team that I have. I've got Akshar, I've got Kuldeep, maybe a bit of Lalit Yadav, but is this the ground? Are these the pitches you're going to give me going ahead? Same thing with Kolkata. Are the pitches they're getting in Kolkata conducive to them? No wonder home teams are not winning games.
And if it is going to be a pitch like we've seen this evening, the Indian batters have got to play better.
Yeah.
You know, the Mitchell Marshes, Phil Salts, real hard hand players.
Robin Powell is like that if you want to pick him.
Against spin, you need a little bit more wrist like the Indian players can produce. So the likes of Prithvi Shaw and co-managed Pandey are going to have to choose some magic because of that element of playing spin that bit better than the foreign players would do.
You know, it's been very difficult to find a positive from the Delhi, in spite of them winning, to find one positive for Delhi. But probably David Warner and him, he's been the pick of the batsmen. Also that monkey off his shoulder, considering he's been picked for the Test Championship.
Yeah, they've picked for the Test Championship and the first Ashes Test, so two test matches. I don't know what I read into that, to be honest. I've never heard of that kind of selection over in an Ashes tour, that you're picking a side for a Test Championship final and then obviously the first Test match. David Warner's under pressure in English conditions. Tonight he was excellent. T20 cricket. It looked like he got his mojo back, just trying to lead from the front with the bat in hand. In English conditions, with the bat in hand against the red ball, his record's very poor. Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if he's not playing in the Ashes series. I don't think Broad and Anderson will be too concerned about bowling round the wicket to David Warner in the Ashes.
You combine what he said about the way the seamers bowl for KKR with the strike rate for David Warner. What's his strike rate been right through this IPL? 110, 112. Yeah. How did the seamers bowl? Short, wide, gave him room, strike rate 139. That could well be one of the big moments in this game, that the seamers just gave away too many runs, but they might just have allowed David Warner to get that strike rate going again. David Warner is a 140 strike rate player. He's not a 110 strike rate player. So I think the KKR seamers might just have fed him and given him the confidence. And if he can keep playing like this, then at least they'll get the starts. Not every game will be played on surfaces like these.
Well, Ishant Sharma was another positive. Yeah. We have spoken about him, but we should speak about him again, because he went off the field looking a little injured, if I can say. So hopefully we'll see him again, because he was very impressive.
You won't know this. These are called senior citizen things. You won't know.
He's very smart. Very, very smart.
So you feel he's fit to
smart. But why would he want to field at that height, at that age? When you've got Prithvi Shaw, he's won Prithvi to get 8 overs of fielding, get used to the conditions out there. He bowled great. 4 overs inside the first 12, set the tone, got a little bit of bounce, got a bit of movement back into the right-handers away from the left-handers. Well, I think he's I don't know him personally. I've never really had a chance to speak to him, but he's a bit like Mohammad Siraj that we saw in the afternoon. I just like his attitude, Ishant. He's always, every time I've seen him, whether it's in Test cricket, one-day cricket, T20 cricket, he just looks like he gives it everything. It's not every day that he bowls like he did tonight. It's not every day that he gets a pitch that just offers a little bit, but he never looks to me like his attitude's not there. He always looks like he's got a great attitude on a cricket pitch. I like to see that. So
we should be seeing him in the next couple of games at least to come in up until his body holds up.
Can you tell? Because Delhi have Khalil Ahmed, who's injured about 11 months of the year. It's so frustrating because that boy's got pace. Talented. He's got pace. He can swing it. He gets the angle. He bowls. He goes over 140 easily. But he's hardly ever on the park. Then they've got Chetan Sakaria. They paid for him. So if the people they've paid are not delivering, then good on them. Play Ishant Sharma and send a message out to those guys saying, you know what, we still want to pick Ishant Sharma. I hope they pick him the next game. I bet they do. Yeah. You know, I know Ricky Ponting well enough. They've just got to win. You know, they've just got their first victory. Yeah. We'll have to just get them back. Just same again. We just go with the same. We're not going to try and break the mould. We found a mould that's won the first game for us in this year's IPL. I think it'll be the same in 11, unless the pitch is obviously a huge amount different. But I'd be amazed if it's not the same team. Yeah, well, the impact rule helps them as well. So we should see them in. Impact rule's working very well, actually. Yeah. Prithvi Shaw wants to bat, not field. Ishant Sharma wants to bowl, not field. So they find a mean, saying, okay, you field for 14 overs, I'll field for 6, and then I'll bat. It's not a happy situation, but it's working. All right, well, we should have a look at the points table because Delhi have finally picked up those 2 points. They still are at the bottom of the table with, in spite of winning today, but Kolkata is at number 8. Otherwise, we have to also talk about tomorrow's game. So tomorrow, CSK take on Hyderabad, and this again is going to be an exciting game. It's happening at the Chepauk. Both CSK and Hyderabad on paper seem solid. They seem like a really solid team, but they have just not been able to convert that paper into kind of just doing things. It's like you crush coffee beans and you get this lovely flavor, and then you brew it and it doesn't quite taste what it's meant to. They're a bit like that. You look at the team on paper, all bases covered, You look at their middle order, everybody's striking over a career strike rate 140, 150, 140, 150, all bases covered. They should not be there on that points table. I mean, Natarajan hasn't got going. They've got so many pluses there. Janssen's bowling well. Markande's is bowling well. Brooks got 100. Klaasen's the other day was hitting it well.
Yeah, he got a 36 the other day.
Markram's got a 50 in 20 odd balls. Rahul Tripathi has played for India and played well. So you see that team, everything is right about that team. They shouldn't be there.
Yeah, but I just think it's new. It's like any team generally. It takes time to develop the culture. You've got a new coach in Brian Lara. I know he's been around the fry, but he's the head coach. And when you put a load of new individuals, even though they're really quality individuals playing it, to get them playing collectively and understanding each other's roles, each other's partnerships, it sometimes takes a few games. They started poorly. I thought they played well for a couple of games, and then they missed out in the last game. But moving Brook to opening the batting, I think that's been a real positive. So that's working for them. Particularly Harry Brook tomorrow on the venue in Chennai. I'll be amazed if they don't just bowl spin to him.
Yeah, but the concern for Hyderabad has been the two star Indian players, if I can say, Mayank and Washington Sundar. Mayank got a 48 the other day, but 48 or 41 is what he was striking it at. And also Washington Sundar, who's extremely talented, but he's not been able to pick up that wicket.
I think he's struggling for his role. As Michael said, it takes time to understand what everyone's good at. I think he's struggling for his role. He's at his best when he's bowling those overs in the power play, bowls 2 overs in the power play, sometimes even 3. It's a role he's performed very well. Now, all of a sudden, he's not playing that role. He comes in the middle overs. He's not been as successful there. He's a good striker of the ball, but he's batting so deep that I think he's a little concerned about or uncertain of what his role is. And I think this impact sub has started playing around with the careers of some players. Abhishek Sharma, Washington Sundar. It started to play around with their careers because they're players of 2 skills, and that's why they've got picked. But now one of their skills is being rendered irrelevant. And are they good enough with their single skill to be as valuable as they were? So this impact sub rule is starting to create a few problems. I think it's creating a few problems for the Sunrisers.
He should fancy bowling on the surface tomorrow, and also against Chennai, I've got quite a few left-handers. So he's not got wickets yet, but I'm amazed that they've not used him in the power play. I think he's very skilled, very clever off-spinning bowler. 2 left-handers in the power play. I just think he's got that knack of getting that one in straight fast, then give it a bit wider. He seems to be able to see the batter of what they're trying to do earlier than most spinners that I watch. Tomorrow might be the day.
Yeah, I think that because the ball's moving a bit this year, they want Bhuvi to swing it up front. They want Marco Jansen as a big left-hander to swing it up. That's 4 overs gone. So at best, he's bowling 1 in the power play. So I think they're a bit confused, but let's see. The Chennai track, it does help spinners, but it's producing a lot of runs too.
We'll have a look at Chennai's team as well, because Chennai is 1-3, they've lost 2. Things falling into place for them because Conway got 83 the other day and Dubey got that 52, the much needed comeback of Dubey. Ajinkya Rahane has been wonderful this season. He's really done well for them. Tushar Deshpande got those wickets, and Pati Rana was very impressive the other day.
But the big problem this year is they concede more runs in the power play than anybody else. So who are their power play bowlers? They've gone with Tushar Deshpande. Pati Rana bowls a little bit. They tried Tikshana. That didn't work. So they're struggling with their power play bowling. They might be tempted to play a Santner ahead of a Tikshana. Tikshana disappointing in the last game. But they like Tikshana. He's also their best death bowler by numbers. So their bowling, I think Dhoni is pulling out something out of this side. But it's not a great death bowling side. It's not a great power play bowling side.
No, I mean,
it's the middle overs that are bailing them out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at matchups, you would pick Santner to bowl at Harry Brook.
Yes.
Yeah, in the power play. You'd almost start with him straight away. He's done it for New Zealand very, very well over the years. And Harry Brook, I mean, he pretty much admitted to you that he needs to help work on his element of playing spin. He's brilliant against pace bowling. So I think most teams against Harry Brook now will take pace off and use the spinners more so. And he's got to find a way of making sure that his strike rate, I don't think it'll ever get to the rate that he gets against the seamers, but he needs to find a way of making sure that strike rate is over 100, 120 against the spinners in those, particularly those first 6 overs.
And Santner and Moeen Ali the other day, against Lucknow, they got them the game. They both bowled very well.
Jadeja, Santner or Tikshana, I think they'd go Santner. Jadeja, Santner, Moeen. What kind of track do you think Chennai want? Now look at this batting in the Sunrisers. Yes, Rahul Tripathi is a good batter. Mayank Agarwal's good. But 2 South African batters, Klaasen and Markram. Markram is a good player of spin, but two South African batters, one England batter. I think they won't mind playing a 150, 160 game and just get the ball to grip and turn and have a surface like that.
Okay, so your players to watch out for tomorrow, one from each team. You got it yesterday, you were bang on.
I'm going to go Moeen Ali for Chennai. And for the Sunrisers, I love the left armour, Jansen, South African quick. I just think he's a fantastic all-round cricketer.
Now, here's something for you. If they do prepare that kind of surface,
He might not play.
Sunrisers might be tempted to play Adil Rashid.
Yeah, absolutely. It might be
Or
Adil
there's
Rashid.
Akil Hussain as well.
Or Akil
There's
Hussain. Actually, that Akil Hussain's a good
Yes.
player. He bowls in the power play. He's a good cricketer.
I'll stay local to my own boy then, Harry Brook. I'll go Harry Brook.
Oh. I mean, I was thinking you will go Harry Brook. I was a bit
Well,
surprised
I thought it was
there.
going to be so obvious, but I will be obvious. I'll go Harry Brook.
Okay.
I don't know. I have an instinct with Rahul Tripathi. He's a very good player. He's a bustling player. Slowish tracks. I think he might go all right. So I'm going Rahul Tripathi from Sunrisers.
And CSK.
Can you cut on a single of Saiyami? Ajinkya.
No.
Nah, that was just.
I knew that was coming. Well, I really hope that works out because he's been doing so well. I just want that one nice big 80 plus score.
Ruturaj is playing well.
Yes.
Rahane is playing well.
Conway is playing so well.
Conway is playing well. But the reason he says Moeen is if the track's going to grip a little bit, his batting, even if he gives you 30 or 15 balls, that can make a difference. So, but I'll go Rahane because.
All right, we've had a very long day today, but we completely forgot to discuss Joy Factor's question in the green room. So I think we should have a look at what the answer is. Rahul Dalal, originally from Haryana, is the closest to which Indian cricket record and who holds the record?
Go on, get the answer.
All
That's a
right,
ridiculous
it's the maximum runs in a Ranji
Playing for
season.
whom? Playing for whom? Which was Arunachal Pradesh wasn't a Ranji Trophy team till 3 or 4 years ago. And because there is a movement to get all the Seven Sisters, as they're called, in the Northeast, there's a lot of very young players, very inexperienced players coming up there. You've got professionals from the main states who don't get a game, going across there to play as professionals and plundering runs. A couple of years ago, Bishan Bedi's record for the maximum wickets in a season in Ranji Trophy was broken. So I think it's only appropriate that he fell short of VVS Lakshman's record. That was the year after VVS Lakshman was dropped from the Indian side and he went and made 9, 10, 1100, something like that. So in a sense, it's good that he didn't break it, but we're getting some strange results because we now have 37, 38 teams in the Ranji Trophy.
Well, we got more insight to the answer, but who gave the fastest answer? We'll have a look. We've been getting a lot of answer. Saket Patel has given this answer.
1,300 runs and all the runs in the name.
Runs and runs. That's his handle. It's quite a cool handle, Saket. Congratulations. Keep writing in and giving us these answers because only then Joy Bhattacharya ups the ante with his questions. So just keep giving us these answers. Yeah, it's been a very long day, gentlemen, but you all have just made it, like always, a lot of fun.
You've been providing us with ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
So
That was the
it's got us
secret to
through
the
the long
day.
day.
Secret to the day was sea salt ice cream.
Do you know one of the conditions for being our anchor is you should be able to order very well. Gaurav Kapoor and Saiyami Kher, outstanding at ordering dinner, apart from being good anchors. I'm not trying to be that.
No, but Gaurav Kapoor is my senior. His anchoring, his food ordering. If Gaurav Kapoor is here, I'm still here. I don't come in the frame. So
I'll tell you what.
From him.
He's never ever produced ice cream.
Oh, he hasn't.
You're well ahead of him.
That ice cream was really good. Yeah.
So hopefully my ordering's good. I hope I come up to his anchoring standards because Gaurav Kapoor is just the best we've seen in the country. But I've had the best company today, so thank you so much. I know
And
that
yesterday.
And yesterday and all the last 10 days
No,
have been
because
on
game's
Cricbuzz.
gone
Yes,
into
it's
another
gone
day.
into the next day. I know that you've got an early morning flight. We've got very busy people on our panel. So Harsha will be out and about. Maybe from here he'll be going directly to the airport because that's how busy he is. And Michael, do I see you tomorrow?
Yes, I'll be back tomorrow.
He's got a busy morning. He's playing this new
Yeah,
what are the
paddle.
thingies?
No, I'm having a
Paddle
day off.
tennis.
It was too hot.
What's it called? Paddle
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 tennis.
tennis.
Paddle
You'd be
tennis.
very good at that, Harsh.
The only two paddles I know are the ones they show in the IPL auctions, the paddles, and the one that you paddle with.
All right, so Mr. Bhogle will be on a flight very soon. And I hope to get a game of paddle tennis with Michael Vaughan. I'd be really happy if I can do that. But we're almost, not almost, well, it's 12:44, so we really should go because it's been a long day. Thank you so much for watching and being with us all day. Don't forget to join us tomorrow at 7 p.m. Good night and goodbye.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲಲ್ಲಿ ತಿರುಚಿರಾಪಳ್ಳಿ
Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दें